Hi, welcome back. Certainly glad you could join me today. I brought my little friend Hoot on one more time so you could see him. We've got so many cards and people have called asking about him. I just wanted to show him again. He's a little baby owl and he's one of the cutest little devils. See if we can get him to put his wings out here. Look at there. Isn't he beautiful? He's about 3 weeks old now, 2.5 weeks or so. And very, very cute. Yeah, you going to talk a little bit? He really is a beauty. I am so fascinated with these little creatures, and I hope you are too, because I like to show them to you. Look right up there. You see? There we go, and he's just nothing but down. As I mentioned earlier, him and I have the same hairdresser. We both got the fuzz top up here. Okay, tell you what, it's time for us to go to work. So I'm going to set him down. I'll have them run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with me today, and we'll get started. So I'll set him right over here in his little basket. Now this son of a gun has some talons on him that's just unreal. Even at his age, they must be 1/2 an inch long, and he will get you. Not on purpose, but that's just what happens. Tell you what, I've got something a little different up here today. I've had so many letters come in from people who like to paint on wooden objects, asking if this technique can be done on wood. I thought today I would show that. So what I've done here is taken just a piece of plywood. I've just sort of cut out a little design, and when you're at home you can cut out any design that you want. One thing you might do is when you cut it at an angle so this slants outward on the sides all the way around, and then maybe paint that a flat black when you're all done, and it's like a frame. So I've cut this out and then I've covered it with a thin coat of white gesso. Let that dry, then I've just put a thin even coat of liquid white over it. So it's ready to go. Basically, it's the same way we do a canvas, only it's on wood. And I thought today we'd just do a very simple little painting just to show you how it works. We'll start out with a little touch of alizarin crimson on the 2-inch brush. Just pull a little bit of the color out, small amount, tap it into the bristles. And let's put a little pink in this sky, maybe right in here. There we are. Now we don't want to set this sky on fire. All we want to do is put a little pinkish glow in the sky. We're just making little crisscross strokes. But now in yours, you can make it as bright or as dull as you want. It's up to you, totally up to you. Anything that you want to do. There. Maybe a little more right in here. Now then, without cleaning the brush, I'm going to go right into a small amount of the phthalo blue. Phthalo blue. And just tap a little into the bristles. Very easy. Let's go right back up here. Now right at the very top, still using our little crisscross strokes, just begin putting in a happy little sky. There we are. Just let it blend right on down to the pink. Now painting on this wood is very nice, it's very solid, and it works well. You can also paint on masonite if it has a coat or two of gesso on it. We'll just bring some little streaky things in here just by tapping, then giving it a little blend. You can make all kinds of little effects wherever you want them. As I was saying though, masonite makes a very nice surface to paint on. The only thing that's really different about wood or masonite is when you're using the knife. This is very hard. There's no give to it. Unlike canvas, when you paint with a knife on canvas, it gives, it bends to the shape of the knife. This has no bend to it, of course. Maybe we'll put a happy little cloud in there. What the heck? Let's go into titanium white. We'll use the old fan brush. Just titanium white. Be right back. Don't go away. A little bit of bright red in it. We'll just sparkle this up a little. Okay, let's go up here. Maybe in our world, there lives a happy little cloud here. And you could put them anywhere you want them. Just any old place. Tiny little circles. Tiny little circles. Okay, maybe we'll brighten him up just a wee bit. There. I hope you enjoy seeing Hoot and all the other little creatures that I bring you. They are really very special to me. And they're some of the best friends in the world. I love little animals. All kinds of little animals. There. Now with a large brush, I'm just going to blend the bottom out just exactly the same way we would do on canvas. Just like so. I still have a little squirrel that lives with me in my home. And he lives in a great big cage. We call it Squirrel Hilton. Boy, that little son of a gun, he is something else. But he's a little bit too uncontrollable to bring on the show. Maybe I'll take a picture of him and show you in one of the next series or something. I couldn't keep him still long enough to bring him out here. He lives in Florida. I have a home in Florida, and the squirrel stays there. He knows about this cold weather. Okay, maybe, tell you what, let's just take us a little black, a little Prussian blue, a little crimson, a little Van Dyke brown, what the heck, just dark colors. Pull it out very flat. Really get tough with it when you're pulling it out like this. Pull it out as flat as you can get it. Go straight down with a knife, touch, and just pull it. This knife has a straight edge on it, so it's very easy to load a roll of paint right out on the edge of the blade, okay? Now maybe in our world here, there lives a happy little mountain. And we'll do this just like we do when we're painting on wood. But you can hear the difference, of course. And just really push that color in. There's a little bump there, wherever you want them, just any kind of mountain that you want. And maybe where you live, or maybe in your painting, you don't want a mountain. If you don't, leave it out. Just leave it out. There we go. Now we'll just take the large brush and begin blending that color down. Because there's liquid white on this wood, the paint will move, it'll slide. It's just fantastic. And these wooden things are pretty in your house, or you can paint such things as cabinet doors or whatever you want. Just hang them around the house. They're beautiful decorations. And you can cut any shape that you want. I used to live in Alaska for years and years. I lived in Alaska. And I used to cut out maps of the state of Alaska. And onto that then I would paint beautiful scenes, and sometimes maybe even mount a little clock up here in the corner or something. Just, you can buy a quartz movement to put on the back for only a few dollars, and you can have a clock here with your painting. And of course, nobody's interested in selling paintings, but if you're looking for that happy buck, little things like that sometimes sell like hotcakes. I'm going to take just straight titanium white with a little tiny bit of bright red in it. Cut off my little roll of paint again, just like before. And let's just go up in here, touch, no pressure at all. Just let it glide, soon, make little noises. See, you can just glide right down the side of the mountain. You go anywhere that you want to go with it. There's another one. There, barely touching. Barely touching. Just caress it. There. Okay. Maybe over in here there's a little bit of light playing through there. We'll take some white, we'll put a little bit of blue in it. A little blue, a little touch of black, just to dull it down a little bit. So we have sort of a blue-gray color. Once again, get our little roll of paint right out on the edge of the knife. Then with that, we'll come right up here, touch, and follow the mountain right down. Zoom. No pressure though. All you're doing is just allowing the knife to float. That easy. And it's easier to do it fast than it is to do it slow. One of the things we do when we're training instructors, we have instructors that travel around and teach. Well, I train these instructors, and one of the tests that we give them, we make them paint very, very fast, because you find that they can paint better fast sometimes than they can slow. When you're doing things like this, it's hard to do it slow like this. If you just do it, it happens much faster, much easier, and the paint breaks better. By breaking, we mean it has all these little holes in it. And you can do that. See, anywhere you want a shadow, you just drop in a little of that blue in the opposing or opposite direction. And you can make some mean, rugged-looking mountains. With a clean, dry brush, I'm just going to tap the base of this. Just tap it. Like so. And then very lightly blend it upward. By blending upward, all it does is take out the little tap marks. It brings everything together. It creates that illusion of mist at the base of your mountain. It's very soft and very delicate, far away. Over here, you follow these angles. It's most important when you're doing this tapping that you follow the angles in your mountain. Now take a little more of that blue on my brush, just tap a little. And sometimes it's fun just to take this and maybe we'll just bring it right on out and create a whole new plane in the mountain. And all these planes are what create the illusion of depth and distance. And we'll put some little shadows back in here, all kinds of little happy things. There we go. Okay, let me wash the old brush. And then we wash our brushes, as you know, with odorless thinner. Shake it off, beat the devil out of it. Now I'm just going to tap this. That brush beating is so much fun. Hoot's not too crazy about it though. It sort of shakes him up. He thinks he's next. There we go. And while I have blue still on that brush shoot, we'll just go right into a little touch of crimson and come right across here. Throw in a nice little color, just like so. Little lavender color in the middle. Then we'll go right into a little bit of phthalo blue and do the edges, like so. We'll just put a little bit of water down here. What the heck? But once again, this is mixing with the liquid white and it's very smooth. And it just flows. If you had a dry board here that you were trying to paint on, you would really be in agony city right now. And you'd be very unhappy with me. You'd be calling me names. By having the liquid white on there, that's just slick as it can be. Your color's continually mixing with it. And all these beautiful things just happen automatically. Okay, maybe back here we have some little foothills. We got some black here and a little bit of Prussian blue, brown, a little sap green. Be right back and get a little white. A little bit of white. There we go. Maybe a little more brown. I want to dull that. It's getting a little too bright. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Tap a little color into the bristles. Let's go right up here. Now then, maybe back in here, just live some beautiful little foothills. All kinds of little trees that are way back here in the distance. Now, I'm using the brush up like this, so it makes it look like the tops of just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of little trees. I used to sit with a little one-haired brush and try to do these one at a time. Whew. This is certainly easier. Okay, now we can just take a clean brush, and I want to create the illusion of mist down at the base of it here. So all we're doing here is just tapping the bottom, just the bottom. See how it just sort of floats around in there? Very, very lightly. Very easily, just lift a little bit upward. And that creates a beautiful misty area right in there. Now maybe there's more than one little foothill. So all you do is use the same color, only darker, less white in it. As things get closer to you in the landscape, they should get darker and darker. All right, let's go right up here. You have to make a big decision. Where's your little footy hill live? There he is. Now we don't want to lose all this mist in here. See, there's mist between them. There you go. Now you can see the mist in there? That's important. You don't want to lose it. There. If you lose that, they're just going to sort of blend together. We'll just let that run right out like that. A little more color. Maybe, shoot, maybe it just goes right on up here. We don't know where it goes. There we are. But as long as it's a little bit darker, then it'll show. And it'll look like it's closer to you. Now I'm intentionally letting some of it hang down here below because we want a happy little reflection under there. So all we do now is decide where water and land meet, pull straight down with a large brush. Just give it a little downward pull. See there? And once again, because there's liquid white on here, this is a wet surface, so color moves. Now just go gently across and it'll give it a watery appearance. Instant reflections. That easy. Little touch of the liquid white, like so. We'll put the least little bit of blue into it just to cool it down a little. Blue's a very cool color. It's nice. Pull it out flat and take the knife and cut across. Let's do that one more time so you can see it. Pull it out flat and cut across. That loads a little bit of paint right onto the edge of the knife, okay? Now, just push very hard and we'll just cut in a happy little water line. Now this is a little slicker than canvas because it's wood. So you have to hang on to your knife a little tighter because it'll slide up and down and make you unhappy. It'll run right on off down here somewhere. That's one of the disadvantages of painting on wood or metal. You can paint on metal the same as you do on wood. If you want to paint on metal, I recommend you paint it first with something that'll stop the rust. Just a spray paint or something if you're going to paint on metal. Then put your gesso on it, allow that to dry, and paint like normal. When you're painting on metal, for example, if you want a little texture so it's similar to canvas, I used to use a paint roller with a small short nap on it, and it'll make it feel like there's little bumps on it. It'll give you a texture like canvas, and it makes it much easier when you go over it. Much, much easier to paint on it. Okay, let's do some little things back in here. Let me we'll use a fan brush today. Clean off a spot to work. We'll take some black, some Prussian blue. Oh, put some brown there. What the heck? Anything you like. A little sap green, alizarin crimson. Big old gob of paint. As long as it's dark. Okay, let me clean my knife off here. I just wipe the knife on a paper towel. That or a clean rag, all works fine. Use old number 6 fan brush. Sometimes I use the number 3, sometimes I use number 6. Doesn't matter, whichever works well for you. Okay, let's go up here. Maybe in our world, maybe right there, lives a happy little tree. There he is, just work back and forth. Look at that. Little son of a gun, he lives right there in that brush. Right there. Okay, let's give him a friend. You know me. I think everybody needs a friend. I think they're the most important thing in the world. There we are. This is a place for Hoot to sit, right up here, the little owl. Gotta have a place for him. He sits right up there. Maybe, tell you what, maybe his little baby tree, since Hoot's just a baby, we'll give him a baby tree over here to sit in. Maybe he's not brave enough yet to fly up in that big one. So we'll just give him just a little tree. Just a little tree. I like to show off the little animals. We just done a whole thing in the newsletter about animals and showing some of the little squirrels and birds that I have. So I hope you enjoy those. There we are. Tell you what, while we got this old brush at work in here, I'm going to just, watch right here. I'm just going to tap down. See, I was telling you reflections are easy. Watch here. There's a big tree, there's a big stick. Now, all we do is just put in some very, very basic little ideas. Well, that's a sad looking tree, but that's all right. If you were upside down, you'd probably look a little different too. There we are. Put his little arms on him upside down. Now then, very lightly, 2 hairs and some air. Just grab that and give it a little pull. And we have instant reflections. That easy. Look at that. Now watch right here, watch. See? This is exciting. I love to see these reflections work. Just go across, and you can push them. See there? Make it look just like water. See the shimmers? Isn't that fantastic? You have unbelievable power here. Shoot, I get carried away sometime. Tell you what. Now when I cut this out, I knew I was going to put a big tree here. The rest of it I didn't care about, but I wanted a big tree. So let's go right up in here and let's just put in this big old tree. There. I bet you knew from the beginning there was going to be a tree there when you saw that. There we go. We should have done that with a 2-inch brush. It'd have been a little faster, but it doesn't matter. Whatever's handy, whatever you feel comfortable working with. Some people like to do it with a 2-inch brush, some with a 1-inch brush. Some people like to do it with a shoe. Whatever. If it makes you happy and it doesn't hurt anybody else, then it's all right. Okay. There. But see how neat that is? As I say, when this is all dry, if you go around these edges and paint them black, you don't have to even frame it. It's already framed. There. Maybe. I'm having so much fun making these evergreens. This will give you some practice with little evergreens. And maybe in your painting, if you don't want evergreens, you can put a different kind of tree. And you can cut out all kinds of different shapes. Sometimes it's fun if you're going to have like maybe an old barn or something. Cut the basic shape of the barn halfway out of the piece of wood, and then paint half of it in there and half of it out of there. And it's neat. You'll love it, guarantee. Guarantee. Let's take your big brush. Pull it through the paint in one direction. One direction. That rounds one corner. Now I'm going to turn it over so that rounded corner is to the top. So you're up here on the top corner, it's round from pulling it in one direction. Okay, let's go up here. With that rounded corner to the top, push and bend the bristles and just begin making some very basic little bush and grass shapes. And you have to make some big decisions now. Where does this go? Maybe it comes down here. Wherever you want it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You could really put this on with a paint roller. Start a whole new style of painting. It's the highlights that count, but this is a good place to practice just making the brush work and feeling how it feels when you push, because so much of this is a feel. I can show you how to do it, I can tell you exactly how to load the brush, but so much of it comes from practice and just doing it, and very soon you feel exactly what's happening, and you know as soon as you touch the canvas if you have a bush or you have a blob. So devote a little time to practice, it'll pay you big dividends. Take some white, a little bit of the dark sienna, leave it marbled like that. Cut us off a little roll of paint. And maybe in our old tree here and there, you can see the indication of a nice tree trunk showing through. Just here and there. We won't see the whole thing. This little tree, maybe he's got a little trunk right there. Over here, wherever you want him. There. Just the indication. Just the indication. Okay, now, let's grab another fan brush. Let's take a little bit of that tree color and mix it with some cadmium yellow. That'll make a very nice green. Or a little sap green, either one. Okay, let's go up here. Now then, let's take this brush and come right along here. Just put some highlights right on these evergreens. Right on them. There, wherever you want them. Think about where the light's coming from. And our mountain tells us the light's coming from the right. So we want more of the bright highlight color on the right side than on the left side. There. That's a nice place for the little birds. There we go. Now they have a place to sit. These are beautiful little things, these little wooden things to do and give to friends and relatives as gifts or Christmas presents or for whatever occasion. And it's very special because you did it. People like gifts that you make yourself for them. A lot of times better than gifts you go out and spend a lot of money for, because then it's anybody can go buy something. But to make something with your own hands and your own heart and give it to somebody because you care about them, that's special. That is really special. There we go. Little bush lives there. Now if you have trouble making your paint stick, add a small amount of the liquid white or paint thinner. We'll just put some little bushes there. Maybe we'll reflect some of those right down here into the water. What the heck. Okay, we'll take a large brush, 2 hairs and some air, 1 hair and some air. This is very light. Down and across. Makes those beautiful little mirror reflections. Now over on this side here, maybe there's a happy little bush lives right there. See there? Okay. Okay. I'm going to add a touch of paint thinner to my brush. Just a touch. Tell you what's fun. I'm going to go through some yellow, then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put just the corner of the brush into some bright red. Just the corner so you can see it. Let me turn the brush around. See that top corner's got a little red on it. Now watch. Now if this works just right, you'll have a little green bush with red flowers. Look at that. Isn't that sneaky? Look at that. It's beautiful and it's so nice. Now we just put in all kinds of happy little plants and stuff. Wherever you want them. Another one maybe right here. Work in layers though. Do the one that's farthest away and always work forward, forward, forward. A little more of the paint thinner. And we'll just keep right on going here. Work in layers though. Work in layers. And you vary your colors a little. And in your world, you pick out the colors that you want, the colors that make you happy. There, add a little bit more of the bright red, a little touch of Indian yellow, yellow ochre. Vary some of these little things. Maybe, ooh, there's a nice little bush. He's sitting right here. There we are. Now then, with our knife, just a clean knife, we go up here in these dark areas, scrape in our little sticks, twigs, all kinds of little things. I'm going to take a little of the Van Dyke brown. Let's go right over here and put in a little bit of land. There, look at that. A little brown and white, a little highlight, a little liquid white on the knife. We'll put in a water line. Shoot, we got that rascal just about finished. But I hope this shows you how you can take an old piece of plywood and turn it into a beautiful, beautiful painting that once again makes a fantastic gift to give to loved ones or just anybody you're looking for something to give for a gift. So with that, I think we'll call this one finished from all of us here. And from old Hoot, I'd like to wish you happy painting and God bless.
Production of this program is made possible by a grant from Langnickel, manufacturers of select artist brushes, and by the Martin F. Weber Company, manufacturers of fine artist materials.